Welcome back to Chai, Chaos and Clarity, where we talk about all things nostalgic, relatable, and just a little bit chaotic. My name's Faheen,
And I'm Alicia.
and today we're talking about weird habits we had growing up.
The ones we thought were completely normal until we became adults.
All right, I need to know if this was just me. Ever eat food in a specific order?
I might be a little bit guilty of that. Mm, I can honestly say I did a little bit.
And do you still do that though?
I might
I'm
be
pushing you
guilty
here a
of
little
that
bit, aren't I?
too. I might be guilty of it too. Yes.
Yeah.
We
Like
all.
for me, it was more like leaving the favorite thing for the last bite.
Oh, that's not strange. I'm the same. I always was, and I think I always will be, and I will never be embarrassed about that one.
But some people may
Uh,
consider it strange, so still kind of do that sometimes. Like, yeah, the
well,
last bite has to be the best bite.
Well, think about this. I do it according to what kinds of meal I have. So if I've got a main meal and a dessert,
Yeah.
dessert obviously comes last, and drinks
Mm,
actually. I've
mm,
never had a drink before I eat unless I'm choking on something,
okay.
you know. So yeah.
I
I don't know if
I
you're that way.
I've put that down to not being weird and putting it as it's a strategy for me.
Some
I
people
think
think
it
it's
calms
weird.
the adult side of me.
Some people think it's weird because you'll have people sip, sip, sip and gulp and gulp and gulp. And I've always wondered, how do you finish your meal
Mm,
once you've taking so many, especially if it's a fizzy drink. I
yeah.
don't drink fizzy drinks, but
Mm.
you do. Um,
Not as much, but it
you
depends
know,
on the food. Like, when you're out in a restaurant or something and the food's
yeah,
quite rich, then I
yeah,
need a fizzy drink just to kind of wash it all down. But
yeah,
generally, no, I'm all right. I don't need to have so much. Unless it's really spicy, then
yeah,
yes, I will have like water in between or something. But yeah, other than that, I'm all right.
yeah. Another strange habit. Racing people, random people in the street secretly. It's not out loud. It's like a consensus. Have you ever done that before?
No, I don't think I've done that.
It's one of those
No,
things.
I don't remember.
I,
No.
I giggle a little bit because I remember doing it probably up till mid-teens. And you don't plan it. It's one of those things where someone's walking, you're walking,
Yeah,
they walk a bit fast, you walk a bit fast, you walk a bit fast, they walk a bit fast. Then it
yeah,
just ends up being a big race and you run. You don't
yeah.
know each other, and whoever gets there first, you laugh and walk off, and you never see the person again.
Mm,
It's so silly, but it's funny at the same time.
yeah.
Um, I would say try it, but it'd be weird for you to do that now as an
Can you
adult.
imagine as adults trying to do that, racing with like a random human next to me who's probably trying to get to work or something, you know? So I was more like I used to create imaginary competitions
Oh yeah.
and pretend that I won as well.
I mean, I know an adult who does it now. Sorry if you're listening. Oh well, I'm letting your secret out. No one knows who it is, but it's a
Yeah,
relative of
I'm
mine.
curious
And
to who that is.
he, so I was staying at their house for a while because I was working late shift, and this
Mm.
person lived quite close to where I was working, and I lived quite far from there. So I was staying at his house, and when I got back, I was locked out the house because he was playing Conan with his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he and his son were playing Conan. They were dressed like Conan, and Conan, I'm not sure if you've seen Conan before, but he only wears pants. So they're running around in their pants
That
in the
explains why
house.
you were locked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for 45 minutes.
Wow. So that is just honestly on the back of that, I would like to say, me and my sister, we will pretend
Yeah,
that our living room or sitting room, whatever call it, was the
yeah.
gladiator ring, and we were like
Uh,
gladiators. I
Actually,
don't
I
think my
might
mum was happy
remember.
about that. Cushions all over the place,
Yeah.
jumping. We were like, I think the last thing was left to climb on the walls, but other than if we could do that, we would have done that as well.
Actually, I did say that I never did that, but I do vaguely remember, and it wasn't my idea. And you
Mm.
know who the person is? They were in school with us for the first 2 years. Um, and in her house, we did a gladiator thing, but we used to sort of pretend we were on a camping trip. So we put the blankets by all the sofas because she had the
Mm.
one, it's like choose two living rooms,
Yeah.
and one of them we used to put all the blankets, and it was all cushions and all kinds of things around the place, and we
Yeah.
pretend that something was coming to get us. I don't know how I just remembered that, but I've just it's just come to my mind now. I'm not
Yeah,
sure she'd remember. If I ever bump
yeah.
into her, I'll ask her. It's
I get
thanks
to
for the
listen
trip
to
down
this.
memory lane. Yeah, so
There's a
absolutely nice one
universal
there.
one, which I am
Yeah,
sure every, at least a majority of the people will agree. It was putting your face in front of the fan and just making that noise that came out, like talking to the fan, wasn't it? We talk, and it
it,
was just such a funny
it was
voice
it
that
was
came
more of
out.
a noise,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
every child, no matter what age, what generation, even now,
yeah,
has done it.
100%.
If any of you say no, you're all lying.
Yeah,
Everyone's done it.
100% agree with that.
Everyone's done it. I've caught kids doing it now. Everyone's done it.
Hmm.
And it was quite entertaining, and I don't regret doing it at all.
Yeah. What about some
um,
home habits?
home habits.
Mm.
Um, stuff like turning the lights off and running up the stairs quickly. We all did that one.
I
Um,
didn't do that as much, but I do still, and I have to admit, guilty as charged, I do need the TV volume at an even number. I've done that since I
yes,
was really young.
to keep the monsters away.
Don't know, but the odd number doesn't really. So say it's on like 10, it has to be 10, 12, 14, but it can't be like 13 or 15. I still do that though.
True. That's a sounds like you need to talk to someone there. Um, for me was I'm just gonna tell me I need to talk to someone now. So if the kettle, and this is now, if the kettle's empty,
Mm,
and I'm not planning to make another cup of tea or refill it, or I'm too lazy to refill it rather, I will just have the switch off so that I don't. And it's a habit, a weird habit, but at the same time a good habit.
mm.
So that I don't accidentally boil a kettle empty. And I think
Ah,
that
okay.
this stems from when I was younger. I think I accidentally boiled the kettle empty once, and it obviously spoiled the kettle. And the thing is, the first time I did it, it was fine. I kept doing it and wondering why things were going wrong. Why was there a smell in the house? Because I was
Yeah,
boiling it empty, and I hadn't realized, and I kept doing it, thinking that and I realized, oh no, I've been boiling the kettle empty and it just didn't work again. So ever since then, I've been very careful to have it switched off once it's empty.
yeah.
So yeah, um, yes,
So I've got another one. I think this
yeah,
came from because I have admitted this previously. I don't do horror. From
no,
any walk of life,
yeah,
I do not do horror. So I think when I was younger,
complete
I may have
opposite of
watched
me.
something. I don't remember, but
Mhm.
obviously, back in the days, we had a lot of shower curtains. Like most houses had shower curtains. Now you've got all the screen, the glass ones now. So it's different.
Yeah.
But I used to check behind the shower curtains because I used to think there's something behind there. And yeah,
Are you
it
sure you
wasn't.
didn't watch horror?
I don't watch it
Weren't
now.
watching Psycho by any chance, or
No, see, I
anything
must have
else?
watched something back in the days, obviously. But I think that's what triggered it, and that's not something that was more of like a
May-
fun thing, but more of a
Yeah,
really creeped out thing.
maybe someone told you a story.
Maybe could have been.
Yes.
And
Um,
the one I'm talking to right now actually has given me many horror stories in the past. So
I mean, I could give you more if you'd like.
no, thank you. I'm all right. I'm good.
There'll be
Perfect.
lot of horror stories coming out there online from me
Mm,
anyway soon. So, um, a few others mentioned, not necessarily our habits, home habits still.
mm.
Um, looking out the window dramatically during a car ride. I've seen people do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
that's
don't
not
think
you.
I think they don't realize it's kind of like when you're daydreaming and you react
Mm,
to something that you're thinking about. You could have been thinking about something that happened and you just
mm.
randomly laugh or something. Um, And I think that when people do that, they don't realize that, or they don't remember that they're not at home.
Yeah.
And when someone in the opposite car is looking at you funny, and
Mm.
that I would be the person looking at you funny, then they realize, oh, yeah, people can see me. So
Yeah.
that's one habit.
Yeah.
Um, this next one, our final home habit.
Well,
Um,
actually, I've got
this
one
is
more on that.
yeah. There's what
Yeah.
as children. Um,
Yeah.
you were you going to mention the same thing? I'm thinking we're thinking the same thing. The spinning.
Um, well, no, I don't know, maybe actually. Let me just so mine, even till today, is still a habit actually. I think it's
Mhm.
more OCD, but it's more,
Yeah.
when you come in the house or you got slippers and shoes, they have to be arranged like the right way around in neat order. I can't have them upside down or anything like that. I think that's just more OCD since like from a young
Trying to
age.
sound like Monica from Friends, don't you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why she was
Got
my
people
favorite.
got people turning the cushions over in case they've got a mess on the top, so you won't
Yeah,
notice.
that she was my,
Into
I have to admit, like she was my favorite.
She was not my favorite, but she was a nice person. I just didn't like the OCD part of her because it's
That's the
just
way, that's why I related
it
to her, the OCD part.
it was the funny side, but at the same
Mm,
time, to be there in real life, I'm not sure it will be too fun.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Bear in mind, my OCD, I still have OCD in most cases, but then I had kids, and I'm gonna end
I
that
know. Yeah,
topic there.
yeah. Should we move on, dear,
Food
to the
habits,
next
right?
one?
So let's go with food
Absolutely.
because every kid had that bizarre food combo that I think our parents or anyone else will be like, what is that?
Yeah. And what was yours, dear?
Mine, to be honest, mine's not maybe a bit unique, but right, you know,
Mm.
traditional UK cookies and milk, right? It's a traditional
Yeah,
thing, right? But how you've seen it is a glass of milk and cookies on a plate or something.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
So
Yep.
I used to have it as cereal. So I'd put cookies in a bowl, put milk in it, and it'll be like cereal. Oh my
I
God,
I
I'm telling
changed
you,
my mind. I have no idea what you were. I had no idea you were going to say that.
no, honestly, for anyone, I swear it's probably just me and my sisters that made this up. It is the best combo ever, and it tastes amazing.
Okay, not a fan of that because I thought you were going to say you were going to you dunk your cookies in the milk, which I'm not a fan of
No,
because this is where I'm a bit funny. If I see crumbs swirling around in my drink, I can't touch the drink. So
no. That's not. I'm talking about proper cereal style. You know how you put
I
pour your
know,
cereal in a bowl
I
and
know
then you put milk in,
that
literally like that.
this is where I'm linking in. So if I'm funny about dunking cookies in the milk,
Mm,
I can't turn my cookies into a cereal.
mm.
By the way, they're no longer cookies if you do that.
No, but to be honest, I think me and my sister made this up. My sisters made this up, I should say, and I've literally announced it on live TV. So hey, copyrights, yeah.
There is an actual cereal. Yeah, I was gonna say there is an actual cereal. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
cookie
does it still
something.
exist?
Yeah, it does, but they don't taste that nice.
Well, I don't think they would be because cookies should just be cookies and not a cereal.
I'm talking about
Just
proper
letting
cookies. Like
just
I'm not talking about the big
yeah.
ones. I'm talking about the just
I
the
don't
normal ones
care
you
what
get from
type
your
they
store.
are. Does it matter what type they are?
Yeah, it
You eat
does.
cookies the right way. You remind me of sorry, relative again. Sorry if you're listening, you know who you are. Um, he would do the same thing with cake, but for me, it's no longer a cake. He used to so we'd buy cake and ice cream. It'd be chocolate cake predominantly, and we'd warm the cake a little bit just to soften it, not too much because you need to have the nice chocolate icing bit
Mm,
perfect. Um, and just how you would in a restaurant have the ice cream and the cake, and not this person. He would warm the cake, put it
mm.
in with the ice cream, and swirl it round and round and round, and we'd all be looking at him.
Okay, that sounds odd.
Yeah. Now that's see how you thought that was odd. That's how I think about your cookie.
It's all right. That's why it comes under strange habits.
Yes. And it links into the next thing, which is how we eat the food mixed, which you're mixing that. I can't do that, but I can.
Mm,
I have mine on top. I'm not sure
yeah.
if you mix, but I have mine on top.
Yeah, I have
Um,
it on top. And I mean, I end up mixing it at some point, but it depends
I've
on
I've
like
never really
what
understood
it
that.
is.
Now that I think about it, do I? No, I don't mix it. I don't think there's anything unless it's a meal that's supposed to be mixed, which I don't
Mm,
eat very many of those. But for me, it's also I can't have more than three things on a plate.
that is a weird habit, isn't it?
Yeah. But then for me in my head, I feel like it's too much food. I feel like you shouldn't have more than three things on a plate. I
Then
feel
that
like it's
goes
too,
back
I
to
feel it's
maybe
too
you need
greedy.
to speak to someone.
Or maybe I'm doing the right thing and not allowing myself to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Because
True,
it's too much
true,
food.
true.
So it's and even then three things sometimes is too much for me. So if I
Mm,
have the rice and I don't eat chicken, but whatever is in place of chicken, the vegetables and the for me, paneer, which I might make
Mm,
today. I'm not sure if I'm not too lazy. Um, and you have like a naan, I can just about have that. But
yeah.
if it's a loaf of bread, I think sometimes that's too much for me.
Mm,
So I think it just looks like a lot. Once I look at it, I'm full before I've touched the food. So I think
yeah.
that might be a thing. And I feel like that's how it should be. And I
Mm,
always find it odd when people have loads of things on their plate. I feel like it's too busy,
yeah.
you know.
What
Yeah.
what about shifting into imaginary world? I'm gonna go with this first because, and this is a really like when my girls were born, I never bought them
Hmm.
dolls. Okay, I don't like dolls. Okay, I don't like them. I've never liked them. Never bought it for my girls, and the reason is I still feel this is weird, I know, but
Hmm.
I feel like they could come. You know, they've got those weird eyes. I feel like they can come to life when you're sleeping. And
I
that's
only
based on a
thought
horror
that.
movie I watched when I was a kid. And even till
Which
today,
one?
I can't stand dolls. I'm sorry. I just don't like
Is it
dolls.
Chucky?
No, no, it was actually a Bollywood one.
That's even worse.
And it put me off completely. Like,
I
I
think
honestly think dolls come to life when you go to sleep. And
the
they've got
only
those
dolls that
eyes.
used to the only dolls that used to put me off, although the Raggedy Ann and Andy aren't that nice, but the ones I that put me off are the ones that you have for decorative purposes.
Mm. Oh, the like the
Yeah,
China
we
dolls.
yeah. So a friend of ours, well, I say friend of ours, someone we went to school with,
Mm.
when I used to go to her house, she had a whole three shelves full of them.
Yeah, no.
The hair was locked exactly like her hair as well.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just so her bed's in the middle of the room, and if
Mm.
she was to look to her, she's lying down her bed
Yeah.
on her back, sorry. If she looked to her right, she could see all of them. So
Yeah, see,
if
no.
I were her, I would have a curtain that
Mm.
covers it, or just go under the blankets and make sure I sleep on my left side so I never see them.
You're being
I
generous. If that was me, I'd be like, get rid of them.
I mean she obviously liked them, she never
Yeah.
complained, but they were just it for me it was just okay. They if you want to be a particular way, you want to be partial, whatever, fine, they're nice to have there to say, oh, I've got them, but in
Mm.
all honesty, I wouldn't really want them.
Yeah.
I don't think much of it as a child so much, maybe because it's not in my house.
Mm.
But had I had them, I think it would have been a different story. I had toy dolls, but they were
Yeah.
always put away. I
Okay.
had Barbie dolls. I love my Barbies and my Cindy dolls and my
Mm.
Fantasy Petra, which no one ever heard about. Um, but they were always put away, so I never had them sort of staring at me. And if I'd left one
Yeah.
out, it would kind of creep me out a little bit. But yeah,
You know, I loved
mixed
playing
imagination.
Spy as a kid.
Spy, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I could solve every mystery there was. Like, someone lost tiniest little thing, I'll be like, oh, I'm the best person for it. Like, I'm the spy.
Yeah. With your sister again, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I mean, a bit
Yeah.
of both, yeah. I mean, I don't know why. I just thought I'd be the best spy in the world at that time.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure you would be. So you still play it now.
Try to.
You and your lookalike daughter together.
Oh God, can you? Yeah. I mean, you know what they say, and I'm just, this is no like taken seriously, but you know they say wives are better FBI, wives are better spies than FBI's.
Because we're suspicious. That's why.
I'm not that I am. I'm just putting it out there. But
Mhm.
when you said spy, I still play spy. I was like, hmm.
Right. Raheem's husband, if you're listening, be very careful.
He will listen at some
Okay,
point. So yep, yep.
look over your shoulder.
Watch your step.
One more before we move on.
Yeah. So
Have
weird
you ever had that?
collections.
Have you ever had this before we move on? Um, have you ever had that feeling where, or I'm going to say as a child, not an adult, you feel as though things are only moving, people and things are only moving when you're present, but once you leave a scenario,
Hmm.
everything pauses. That sounds very strange, but those of you who know, you'll understand what I'm saying. Has that ever come into your mind?
No, in terms of like people, but like I said with the dolls, yes, like when you leave the room, the dolls are
Yeah.
moving around. Yes.
And I've had a horror movie in my head from that one. I've watched a horror movie that's like that, but they're puppets instead.
Oh wow. But what weird collections did you have as growing up as a kid?
I remember, if you remember these Tazos, they,
Vaguely, yeah.
I mean, they'd be weird to other people now, not so much back then.
Mm.
But looking at it now, why are we so fascinated by them? There were these flat, circular things. I mean, to be honest, I don't regret anything from our days.
Yeah.
But there were these flat, I don't know, plastic things with literally not Warner Brothers, yeah, Warner Brothers
Yeah, Warner
characters.
Brothers. Yeah, yeah. I
And
remember that.
when you collected them, you sort of put them together and they'd sort of roll around if you got enough of them.
Mm.
And I think you collected them from cereal. I want to say it was
Oh
cereal
my
because a lot
God,
of things were
yes,
cereal.
yes. Along,
Yeah, got a
yeah.
lot of
Do you
things from
remember the little
cereals.
things that you get in the cereal box that you can put on your bike?
Oh my God,
Do you
yeah.
remember that? I
The
just
ones that you
remember
put the
that.
bottom or the light or some things you put on top of the lights.
Yeah,
Well, not yeah, the
yeah,
lights and the basket. Some will go on the actual wheel and make that
yeah.
noise.
Yep, yep.
Um,
They don't do
oh
that
my
anymore. There's
goodness.
no toys coming out of cereal box. I mean, that was
I
like just
mean,
fighting over with my siblings just to get the toy.
I know that cereal's out there and everything, but how many people actually eat cereal these days?
I mean, kids still do. I know kids probably do more than I know adults, but I just feel like these are little quirky things that I think we
Yeah,
can call ours.
yeah. I
Do you
mean,
remember the
yeah,
little
that's
Do you remember
mhm.
the little trolls that I don't know if you collected them, but the little trolls that came that you would put on top of your
Yes,
pedestal?
with the
Oh
hair
my
that sticks
God.
up in the air like they
Yes,
were electrocuted.
yes, yes. And I used to do braids on their hair.
I think everyone did braids on their hair.
I love
Even
those. I had
even if it
so
didn't
many
belong
of
to you,
those.
you'd plait them even if it didn't belong to you. Because
Yeah.
they had those big trolls, the small trolls. I
Yeah,
think they
yeah,
tried to
yeah.
make the trolls into a doll at one point as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And it was this
Um,
thing that I wanted all the
mhm.
colors, because they had different hair colors as well.
Yeah, I think didn't they have I think not different color eyes. There were special kinds of trolls. I'm trying my memory is really I'm trying to remember. There was something about a few of them that had I think it was something in their tummy or something like that. There were sort of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Then trolls just stopped all of a sudden. I
Mm.
think they're trying to bring trolls back now. Not sure how well that's working out, but because I think it's freaking some parents out, so I don't know how well that's going to
Yeah, I
work.
think today's parents viewpoints are very different. So back in the days it was a bit more relaxed,
I
I
mean,
think. I don't
not
know.
strangely enough, some people didn't know trolls existed or don't remember because maybe
Mm,
their memory's been wiped. But now it's just some things just some people don't like them,
mm,
and because there are so many other things out there that have come out
yeah.
since then,
Mm,
um, trolls kind of seem a bit scary to people now. Because you look back
yeah.
and you wonder why did we like this?
Mm.
There are some
But then
things,
bear in mind we grew up watching Looney Tunes, TNT and things getting blown up. Yeah, it was very
yeah,
different back then.
eat Fraggle Rock and things like
Mm,
that. So, um, I've got a very strange one. We've discussed this earlier. Wasn't myself who collected them. Some people collect little insects and sort of keep them preserved, dead
yeah,
insects, not
you
live
mentioned
insects.
that and I was like,
Although
oh my
some people
God.
do keep live insects, to be honest, but they
Yeah.
obviously die because children don't know how that they can't breathe in a little tub.
Yeah.
But it was a thing. Wasn't necessarily, well, actually, I was going to say it wasn't necessarily our age, but some people our age. It
Mm,
was both a hobby and a science project for some people. I remember seeing it when I was small, not my
yeah.
collection again.
Hmm.
Not pretending, guys, I promise, it's not me. And I remember touching not the live insects, it's literally covered with self-adhesive
Mm.
covering. And I touch it thinking, oh, is it pretend? Then I'd see like they're labeled in a particular way, and I realized, oh, these are real. Who's just collecting insects like that? It was very strange to me. Um, but
If you
it's
could see
almost
me
the
now,
same
I'm
as
making the worst face ever because that is absolutely disgusting.
see, the thing is, if you find that strange, it's almost the same as I think the word is it taxidermy, where they hunt animals, uh, not necessarily still, yes, stuff them, but when you have
Mm.
like when you go to a cabin, you also have like a horse's head or a bull's
Yeah,
head or
yeah,
a wolf's head.
yeah.
It's almost the same as that, except you don't
Mm.
have to stuff insects,
Yeah.
you know. So I think those two go in the same sort of, but no one sees it the same because they're insects, and you think, ew, with insects. I mean, to be honest,
Mm.
I find taxidermy a bit strange.
Yeah. No,
I
I
do find it a
mean,
bit strange.
We've
Uh,
seen that like in movies and stuff. You know, when you look at
yeah.
the, especially the
But
older movies in the
have you not seen
cabins,
one in
like
real
you
life?
said. I
Have you
have
not seen?
actually. Yeah, yeah, I have.
Yeah. Because I remember we used to have a tutor when I was younger, yes, back in the days of going to a tutor's house.
Mm,
And she had this, used to hang off her door handle there, fox.
mm,
And I looked at it and it freaked me out for a good while. I had to force myself to touch it just to be brave. I don't know why. There was no reason I didn't need to. But it just looked like it was in shock.
yeah.
So, and it
So
had
you
the
know
doll's
what?
eyes as well.
My dad had this, it wasn't off the wall, but it was like a ornament that sat in the sitting room. It was a
Yeah.
tiger. And it wasn't like a
Yeah.
big one. It was like a small, just sat, on your desk or whatever, but it's quite a
Yeah.
good size. And
Yeah.
if you felt it, it felt so real.
Oh, it used to
And
freak
it
me
was
out, that kind of
horrible.
stuff.
Like, I mean, people obviously that like that stuff always came in and were like, oh my God, that's so stunning and whatnot. My mom hated it.
Oh,
So when they moved houses,
yes.
oops, the tiger disappeared somehow. I don't know where it went. But it was really like, I don't know where he got it from. I never actually got around to asking, but it just felt so real. So yeah, on top of that, yeah. So I
Yes.
have seen
I thought that was
really
just a
weird.
Caribbean thing because there's
No, my
you
dad
know,
loves his
my brother and I were
ornament.
talking about the other day. We had this aunt. It was always a Caribbean auntie who
Mm,
had like a, and it was like a room full of both plastic and taxidermied animals. It was all kinds. She had all kinds of things in there.
yeah,
Um, and we used to pretend this is where I used to have my imagination and pretend I was in a different world.
yeah,
But it's me watching too much Never-Ending Story and all the kind of things. Um, and she had all these like tigers. She always had a matching set of everything.
yeah.
And it was just so, and that's again weird collections because she had a whole, some of them were really nice. She had like a horse and carriage,
Mm,
with an actual person, obviously not a taxidermy person,
yeah. Can you
holding the
imagine?
reins.
Yeah.
And I used to find that so fascinating. She had, I don't like how who sits down and just decides they're going to buy a flat with a room specifically for all these things, and it filled the room. It wasn't like there was space in the middle of the floor. It
Yeah.
filled the room.
Wow.
So everywhere you looked, there was something different. She had a big
Yeah.
globe as well, which I wonder what
Yeah.
happened to it now. But it was such a fascinating room. And she had
Mm.
all these old-fashioned things in
Like
there
a
as
little
well. It was like
museum for you lot.
everything. Yeah, it was like a time capsule in there. Yeah,
Mm.
really, it really was.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good to like look. It's good to look back on it and remember that I used to sort of. This is like again. This is my role play bit. Where I'd just be in there. My mum would be talking to her, and I'd just
Mm.
pretend I'm in this place and that the animals came alive. I wouldn't scream or anything because I'd get told off. But it's really just it's a nice trip down memory lane there.
Also, do you
Um,
remember those little
yeah.
rubbers? The little like fruit shaped or the was it food shaped ones or the flower shaped ones?
Yes.
They were
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely useless erasers, but I used to cherish them like they were treasure.
Yeah. I think they tried to, as time went by, they tried to make them as you rubbed them, they would have a scent.
Mm.
Some of them were okay, but they didn't always work out that way. The scent wouldn't be there for very long, if at all.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I think those were cute. They're trying to bring those back, but not the fruit, although they probably
Yeah.
do exist.
Something like that, I
But there's
think. Can't
little
remember.
unicorns and things like that. I do
Yeah,
have a
they've
few
got
because
loads of those, yeah.
children in schools and things would give them to me. So I do have a few of them here.
Mhm.
Um, even got a pen one as a gift. It has like
Mm.
a sunflower with a smile on its face,
Mm.
so it sort of bubbles from side to side.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and there's pens, which one of them you gifted me, the lovely kangaroo that punches.
Oh my God. Yes.
So
When you
those,
said you like kangaroos, I was like, that's another weird habit as an adult.
I'm,
Kangaroos, really?
I'm not gonna lie. I actually picked up the pen recently. My brother hadn't seen it, and I said, "Look what Brian got me for my birthday," and I pressed the button and it punched him in the face.
Oh. Should we
He
go on
was
to our next topic now, which is rapid
yes.
fire weird habits? So we are going to expose ourselves here a little bit, but
Oh, yeah.
let's start with jumping onto the bed to avoid the monster.
Not me, but only as a game.
I've done that.
Next one. Next one. We've mentioned the run in, turn off the lights, but thinking mirrors looked creepy at night.
I think yes, someone told me not to look in the mirror at 12 o'clock when I was younger, so yeah, I kind of maybe.
To be honest, as a person who reads, watches, and writes horror, yeah, there are going to be all kinds of things I think about that because I actually wrote a story online about that. So,
Oh yeah.
as in you going into the mirror.
Only you could.
So,
Only you could
yeah,
do that.
so that's a whole other thing. So, but in all honesty, I don't. If I have a mirror, because I have a movable mirror, if there's a mirror and it happens to be in the place where it's near my bed, I will cover it.
Mm,
But bear in mind, you and I come from certain types of backgrounds that have a lot of superstition.
yes.
So, yeah. And although we may or may not believe in certain things, because
Yeah.
um, but it's still in the back of your mind.
It's true. It's true. It does. I mean, we don't
Yes.
believe it, but I think because we've heard it so much, it lingers.
Yes. Yes,
Smelling new
exactly.
books.
It's a must. It's sacrilege if you don't. I will
It's
go into Waterstones
I still
and
do that.
yeah, yeah. In fact, my brother and I would do it together. It looked
Mm.
probably whoever's looking on the camera in Waterstones is probably thinking, "What are these two doing?"
But does it not? Oh my God, it just relaxes me so much. I know it sounds weird to some people, but honestly, for book lovers, it's a must.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to actually go in there
And
at some point.
yeah,
Um,
last one.
what about singing in front of the mirror as well?
No, that wasn't really me.
No, you
No,
never did that. You never
no.
actually looked and sang or even complimented yourself in the mirror. Sometimes when you're looking particularly, there's no other word to
Oh,
say but
compliment.
fly.
Probably yes. Not
Yeah.
singing, compliment, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when you click and go, hey, I look great. Sometimes if you don't look so great, it's ooh, what's going on there today?
You do a Joey, yeah, from Friends. How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, of course, absolutely. You have to compliment, give yourself one compliment one day, and if you're in a funny mood, say something really strange about yourself. Yeah, change that on your
Mm.
face and you look
Yeah.
better. Yeah, of course.
Actually, there's one more
Absolutely.
that popped in my head. Making
Hmm.
potions with random household items, and that was more for me. I did this, yes, in the bathroom,
Yeah.
mixing
Yeah, I
shampoo,
think
conditioners, and all this weird stuff.
that might be my second brother. Sorry if you're listening, but he had a habit of making potions and
Mm.
saying he was going. I'm sorry, I'm saying it. I don't care if you're embarrassed. He said that he was going to make a helicopter. He's never made it till this day.
Helicopter,
And
yeah.
he made it, yeah, he made this potion, put it in a bottle, and it was this weird brown substance that was there for the longest time. And he had it, he
That
just kept it.
sounds weird.
And we were like, one day that's going to just burst and we're going to have a problem, aren't we?
Mm.
He always thought he was going to just try and make this he was going to make a helicopter, pour this liquid in. I don't know how this liquid was going to make the helicopter move, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought it was fuel. And he was just going to make this helicopter and it was just going to fly away. Because I thought, once you've made a helicopter, what do you think is going to happen? What are you going to do with it? He didn't think that far ahead. But yeah, that was him making his potions.
Right, all right.
Yes,
Before we finish off or wrap up, we've got a new segment called Did You Do This Too?
yes, we're going to mention a few random habits that we had growing up.
Hmm.
We're
And
going to
decide whether
admit
this
them.
was like a universal childhood experience or if one of us was just genuinely weird or strange.
All right, let's go.
Hmm.
So, pretending to sleep so someone carries you to bed.
Occasionally, yes. Yes.
Everyone did that at least once.
Yeah, yeah.
Predom Predominantly girls. I don't think boys did it
Yeah, I
much.
think it
Maybe,
was,
maybe
yeah,
as
girls.
yeah,
I think it was that princess era, isn't it? You're being carried.
of course. To be honest, and I said this to you earlier, as a child, for some reason, everyone thought I was particularly cute, so they had an excuse to just pick me up anyway. So
Mm.
that's so it was their pleasure.
I know I've
All
mentioned
right.
this already, making random
Yeah.
potions from shampoo and soap and whatnot.
And we both discussed the little experiment my brother made there.
Yeah, we were all tiny
Although
scientists at the time, weren't we?
I tell you what, it wasn't a potion for me. It was more. So I had dolls. I know you were scared of them. I
Yeah.
used to make food using that
Mm. Oh
and
yeah.
pretend I'm feeding babies. There
My
you go.
youngest still does that in the park.
Oh, bless her.
She actually
Oh,
makes it with her friend and she'll be like, "Oh mama, do you want to try my biryani?" And I'm like,
oh, bless her.
um,
Go on, mum,
I have
try
no
the
words.
biryani. Yeah,
I have
give
no
her another
words.
hug from me.
Yeah.
Another hug from me.
Next time I'll tell her, Alicia, auntie will try it.
I'll pretend, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so talking to yourself in the mirror like you're being interviewed or having a conversation.
I think that was just you, maybe.
Well, the
Not a
singing
me
part,
thing.
yes. I'll tell you what, the singing part and sometimes acting things out from a
Mm,
movie, just because sometimes I do silly things, as you well know, because sometimes I
mm,
will actually record my voice and sort of send it to people randomly.
mm.
Don't know if I've done it to you yet, but I definitely do that.
What about
But yeah.
imagining dramatic scenarios, like just generally while thinking or
Um, yeah, definitely. As you know, I live in my head. So I
for
definitely
sure?
do imagine whether I'm sitting down in silence or listening to music. In fact, music probably amps that up a bit, to be honest.
Mm,
My imagination is absolutely wild. If half the things in my head were real, we'd win a few battles.
mm.
And there'd be lots of monsters and creatures and but then there'd be a happy place too, don't worry. Not
Yeah, I
everything's about
think
horror.
for me, it's when my kids come out of my memory and my thoughts. Then definitely as a kid, I did that a lot, but now I think, more so like as a kid, I did it with action movies. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
imagined I'd be with the hero, like or I'd be the best spy, or that really amazing lawyer in the
Yep.
movies, and I'm like, oh, that could be me, could have been me.
Now let's be honest, we still do that, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
still
to be
think I
fair,
could have been.
I think other people do it, but they just don't admit it.
You know what? Just yesterday, I think I was watching like a series with my husband, and I was saying things, and he goes, "Oh, you guessed that correct." I said, "I could have been such a kick-ass lawyer.
Yeah,
Like, I would have been the
everyone does it.
best."
I think
Exactly.
that's why certain things come out. I don't know if you've seen the series Suits, which if you haven't
Oh
seen it,
my
watch it.
God, yes.
Yeah. I think that was out so everyone and suddenly everybody wanted to be a lawyer, a solicitor, and what's the paralegal. I think there was a
Yeah,
brief
yeah.
moment when I was watching Suits where I
Uh-huh.
actually looked at a course for paralegal
Yeah, I
to be a
think, yeah,
paralegal,
I did. Minus two kids, but
you
yeah, I
know.
did.
And
I
I
love
literally
that
convinced
series. It's
myself
one of
I'm
the
sure I
best
could get
ones
into it.
ever.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I got sad once one of the main characters was sort of leaving it. I like that they
Mm,
tried to bring him back, but I just thought once he
yeah,
left, they should have made an end to it. But
yeah.
series was good regardless.
Best.
Brilliant series,
Mm.
and I'm on to the Lincoln Lawyer now. So
Oh, I'm up to date with that so far.
yeah, so yeah. Sometimes I have to take a break from Netflix
Yeah.
and not, so I don't really watch everything, and there's so much on there. Again, with
So,
taking a break from digital things. So
yeah.
yeah.
So, guys, here you have it, a little peek into a wonderfully weird world of childhood that we call ourselves today. You know what? We need to know. We need to know, what weird habits did you have growing up? Please put it in the comments and be honest. We're not here to judge because I know we barely scratched the surface. So it'll be good to know
Not
if there's
much.
something very, very different and unique that we've missed out on. At the same
Yeah.
time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this episode. That's it, really. That's a wrap from us. So this has been
Yeah.
our amazing series again on Chai Chaos and Clarity.
Yeah. See you in the next one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.